a month or two after Obamacare and is every bit as disastrous and destructive. So under this Dodd-Frank bill, Congress established, remember the Democrats were in complete control, the party that advances the cause of totalitarianism. Under that law, they established the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Ooh, that sounds good. They're going to protect us, we the consumer. But it has open-ended power to prevent certain financial institutions from committing or engaging in, quote, unfair, deceptive, or abusive practices respecting a consumer financial product or service. Wow, thank God they're looking out for us. There's no statutory definition for unfair or deceptive acts or practices provided. Remember, written by the Democrats purposely. So this Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB, has exclusive authority to prescribe rules, issue guidance, conduct examinations, require reports, issue exemptions, with little legal recourse by those affected by its decisions. That is, anybody in any way connected to any financial business, mortgage business, loan business, credit card business, and on and on and on. Listen to this. Congress has no appropriating authority over this department. For the law that was passed by the Democrats and signed by Obama authorizes this bureau to fund itself by unilaterally claiming funds from the Federal Reserve Board. So it decides how much money it wants. It claims the money from the Federal Reserve Board, and no one and nothing can intervene. The director of this bureau alone determines the amount of funding the bureau receives from the Fed. The statute also prohibits explicitly, ready for this, the House and Senate Appropriation Committees from even attempting to, quote, review, unquote, the Bureau's budget. And the director receives a 5-year term. He can only be removed by the president, quote, for inefficiency, neglect of duty, or malfeasance in office, unquote. Now, right now, all of your antennae should be going through the roof. But I'm not done. Under this law, Congress established the 15-member Financial Stability Oversight Council and granted it broad executive powers. It has open-ended discretion to designate non-bank financial institutions systematically important, from which flows wide-ranging regulatory authority over thousands and thousands and thousands of businesses in this country. And the law actually prohibits aggrieved parties from challenging the legal sufficiency of the council's actions. No judicial review in the court system. So here you have the delegation of colossal power under the Dodd-Frank law. And this law is talked about by crackpots like Elizabeth Warren and everybody else as important and reform-oriented. Your elected representatives don't have the right to review their budget. Your elected representatives have nothing to say about their budget. They spend what they want. They demand what they want. The head of the organization actually has to commit something akin to a felony before he or she can be removed by the President of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a government within a government. And it has control over our financial systems in this country. And it was set up by the totalitarian party this way. So we the people, when we go to the election precincts every 2 years, our will is ignored. I've said before, for the left, if they win elections, then they follow what the people want, quote unquote. If they lose elections, then they go to the unelected parts of the government, much of which they established to advance their agenda. Now, this entire entity under the Dodd-Frank statute is absolutely, unequivocally unconstitutional. There are no checks and balances. But look at the power of the executive branch. And the reason why the Democrats denuded Congress in this instance and empowered the bureaucracy is because they don't believe in the will of the people. They believe in the Democrat Party, much like the communists. The communists believe in the Communist Party. It's the same thing as the government. They're one and the same. They feed off each other. They grow each other. They don't care. And they're not going to allow the interlude of an election in which they lose to stunt their agenda in any way. And so now we have a Republican House and a Republican Senate, and this entity is utterly unaffected by the election results, by the change of parties because the Democrat Party put this in place. Have you heard anybody but me talk about this? Have you heard anybody on Capitol Hill insist that this thing be eliminated? Oh, they proposed some amendments to address it. Don't address it. Kill it.